we want to promise everybody that we will go strictly to the ITF rules, through the ITF rules, because we again want our professionals to play in the Davis Cup, as high as to the Euro-Africa Zone 2 again, so that we, the umpires, will be as busy as it used to during the days of the Francophories and Co. So this Friday night, we will go strictly through the ITF rules. We'll go strictly with the ITF rules so that our professional players will be well vested in the rules of the game, and then propel them to move higher to the level 2 again, so that we umpires will be very busy again like it used to be.
I want to thank the patrons and executive for availing this club for the Friday night tennis to be played. It means that on Fridays you deny yourself the game of tennis just to help develop the sport of tennis in Ghana, and GTF is very grateful. I know we've done that in the past. The current tennis in schools, which PM Sports has partnered GTF, the founder of PM Sports is a product of Ghana Tennis Club, Peter Mensah. And I know in the past, through CIJ, a lot of talents were on earth here. So it's not surprising that you've come out with another novelty, the Friday night tennis, which is in the 3rd year, to unearth talents, to create opportunities for the boys to play. And these growth matches will also help make the sport popular. The target of GTF is to make tennis the second sport in Ghana. These are some activities that we need to embark on to make it popular again. And from the side of GTF, we working through committees. There are 8 committees which we set up, which we inaugurated come this Saturday. We're going to have the wheelchair committee, gender and equity and equality committee. So in future, I want to see golf matches involving ladies. We want to see matches that involve under 14 and under 16. Once the leader of the players' bodies is part of this program, you will make sure that you get under 14 and 16 committee. There are exciting players that can, exciting matches that we can have 14 and 16. So FNT, please have that in mind in future. We're going to have the legal and disciplinary committee. And one thing that we're going to look at is to look at how best we can get the clubs involved. Clubs will need to have voting rights in electing the GTF president, and that is one of my manifesto points. And what then do we get in return? And the constitution will have to amend it. So we have a legal and constitution committee that will look at that. We're going to have the information and communication committee that GTF would have to make use of social media. There are a lot of people who are ready to help us, and that's the committee that we're going to work with. Then we have the finance. We have the development committee, how to develop the game of sports. And that's made up of officials, coaches, player bodies. Player abroad have their rep on this committee. They have the technical committee. At the last face-to-face, we were taking out that people don't know how coaches are selected. People don't know how players are selected. We're going to have Davis Cup. We're going to have other competitions. And for the first time, Ghana will be participating in the Fed Cup, where we'll give the opportunity for ladies. How are these players going to be selected? And that will be the duty of the technical committee. Then you have the sponsorship and marketing committee that would have to help and fund projects of GTF. So these committees will be inaugurated on Saturday, and we'll have to make sure that we'll get tennis up to where it ought to be. In terms of programs lined up, come April, we'll have the J5 under 18, 2 weeks of that tournament, and the McDan M15 will also come up 2 weeks this year. So we'll have 2 weeks of under 18 and then 2 weeks of McDan. And then on the 2nd of March, the under 12 team would have to go to Benin and play in the AJC. We were in Togo for under 14 and 16, and under 14 boys were victorious. They've qualified to represent West Africa. So series of programs have lined up. We would look for the right funding to organize professional men's tennis, and then the junior tennis. And we can do this with support of, it's not called because the social player Sequence who helped him. And for us to develop the boys, we need social tennis to thrive and for them to support. So social tennis is dear to our hearts, and make sure that we develop it. We're trying to develop what they call the festival tennis. We have started Homo, we have the Asogli, we have the Fashie. We're trying to see if we could develop the Abuatri. Wherever there is a festival, we'll try and incorporate and tennis, and that's the only way tennis would grow.